The Adventures of Milly Molly Mandy by Joyce Lancaster Brisley. It's good to be sitting still, and it's good to be running wild, and it's good to be by yourself alone or with another child. And whether the child's grown up or whether the child is small, so long as it really is a child, it doesn't matter at all. Chapter 1. Milly Molly Mandy Goes Errands. Once upon a time there was a little girl. She had a father and a mother, and a grandpa and a grandma, and an uncle and an auntie, and they all lived together in a nice white cottage with a thatched roof. This little girl had short hair and short legs and short frocks, pink and white striped cotton in summer and red serge in winter. But her name wasn't short at all. It was Millicent Margaret Amanda. But father and mother and grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie couldn't very well call out Millicent Margaret Amanda every time they wanted her, so they shortened it to Milly Molly Mandy, which is quite easy to say. Now everybody in the nice white cottage with the thatched roof had some particular job to do, even Milly Molly Mandy. Father grew vegetables in the big garden by the cottage. Mother cooked the dinners and did the washing. Grandpa took the vegetables to market in his little pony cart. Grandma knitted socks and mittens and nice warm woolies for them all. Uncle kept cows to give them milk and chickens to give them eggs. Auntie sewed frocks and shirts for them and did sweeping and dusting. And Milly Molly Mandy, what did she do? Well, Milly Molly Mandy's legs were short, as I've told you, but they were very lively, just right for running errands. So Milly Molly Mandy was quite busy, fetching and carrying things and taking messages. One fine day, Milly Molly Mandy was in the garden playing with Toby the dog, when Father poked his head from out the other side of a big row of beans and said, "Milly Molly Mandy, run down to Mr. Moggs's cottage and ask for the trowel he borrowed from me." So Milly Molly Mandy said, "Yes, father," and ran in to get her hat. At the door was Mother with a basket of eggs in her hand, and when she saw Milly Molly Mandy, she said, "Milly Molly Mandy, run down to Mrs. Moggs and give her these eggs. She's got visitors." So Milly Molly Mandy said, "Yes, mother," and took the basket. Trowel for father, eggs for mother, she thought to herself. Then Grandpa came up and said, "Oh, Milly Molly Mandy, please get me a ball of string from Miss Muggins's shop. Here's the penny." So Milly Molly Mandy said, "Yes, Grandpa," and took the penny, thinking to herself, "Trowel for father, eggs for mother, string for Grandpa." As she passed through the kitchen, Grandma, who was sitting in her armchair knitting, said, "Oh, Milly Molly Mandy, will you get me a skein of red wool? Here's a sixpence." So Milly Molly Mandy said, "Yes, Grandma," and took the sixpence. Trowel for father, eggs for mother, string for Grandpa, red wool for Grandma, she whispered over to herself. As she went into the passage, Uncle came striding up in a hurry. "Oh, Milly Molly Mandy," said Uncle, "run like a good girl to Mr. Blunt's shop and tell him I'm still waiting for the chicken feed he promised to send." So Milly Molly Mandy said, "Yes, Uncle," and she thought to herself, "Trowel for father, eggs for mother, string for Grandpa, red wool for Grandma, chicken feed for Uncle." And she got her hat off the peg. Auntie called from the parlour where she was dusting. "Is that Milly Molly Mandy? Will you get me a packet of needles, dear? Here's a penny." So Milly Molly Mandy said, "Yes, Auntie," and took the penny, thinking to herself, "Trowel for father, eggs for mother, string for Grandpa, red wool for Grandma, chicken feed for Uncle, needles for Auntie, and I do hope there won't be anything more." But there was nothing else, so Milly Molly Mandy started out down the path. When she came to the gate, Toby the dog capered up, looking very excited at the thought of a walk. But Milly Molly Mandy eyed him solemnly and said, Trail for father, eggs for mother, string for grandpa, red wool for grandma, chicken feed for uncle, needles for auntie. No, Toby, you mustn't come now. I've too much to think about, but I promise to take you for a walk when I come back. So she left Toby the other side of the gate and set off down the road with the basket and the pennies and the sixpence. Presently she met a little friend, and the little friend said, "Hello, Milly Molly Mandy, I've got a new seesaw. Do come on it with me." But Milly Molly Mandy looked at her solemnly and said, "Trowel for father, eggs for mother, string for grandpa, red wool for grandma, chicken feed for uncle, needles for auntie. No, Susan, I can't come now. I'm busy, but I'd like to come when I get back, after I've taken Toby for a walk." So Milly Molly Mandy went on her way with the basket and the pennies and the sixpence. Soon she came to the Moggses' cottage. "Please, Mrs. Moggs, can I have the trowel for father, and here are some eggs from mother," she said. Mrs. Moggs was very much obliged indeed for the eggs, and fetched the trowel and a piece of seed cake for Milly Molly Mandy's own self, and Milly Molly Mandy went on her way with the empty basket. Next she came to Miss Muggins's little shop. "Please, Miss Muggins, can I have a ball of string for grandpa and a skein of red wool for grandma?" So Miss Muggins put the string and the wool into Milly Molly Mandy's basket, and took a penny and sixpence in exchange. So that left Milly Molly Mandy with 1 penny, and Milly Molly Mandy couldn't remember what that 1 penny was for. "Sweeties, perhaps," said Miss Muggins, glancing at the row of glass bottles on the shelf. But Milly Molly Mandy shook her head. "No," she said, "it can't be, and it can't be chicken feed for uncle, because that would be more than 1 penny, only I haven't got to pay for it." "It must be sweeties," said Miss Muggins. "No," said Milly Molly Mandy, "but I'll remember soon enough." So Milly Molly Mandy went on her way to Mr. Blunt's, and gave him uncle's message, and then she sat down on the doorstep and thought what that penny could be for, and she couldn't remember. But she remembered one thing. "It's for auntie," she thought, "and I love auntie." And she thought for just a little while longer. Then suddenly she sprang up and went back to Miss Muggins's shop. "I've remembered," she said. "It's needles for auntie." So Miss Muggins put the packet of needles into the basket and took the penny, and Milly Molly Mandy set off for home. "That's a good little messenger to remember all those things," said Mother when she got there. They were just about to have dinner. "I thought you were only going with my eggs." "She went for my trowel," said Father. "And my string," said Grandpa. "And my wool," said Grandma. "And my chicken feed," said Uncle. "And my needles," said Auntie, and they all laughed. And Grandpa, feeling in his pocket, said, "Well, here's another errand for you. Go and get yourself some sweeties." So after dinner Toby had a nice walk, and his mistress got her sweets. And then Milly Molly Mandy and little friend Susan had a lovely time on the seesaw, chatting and eating raspberry drops.